podcast. I am your host, Mr. Mister.
And I am Mrs. Mister.
Together, we are
the Misters.
That was better. We did like 57 takes of this. So thank y'all for joining, man.
Yes.
Podcast about all things relationship, love, fighting, sex, everything. And every episode we talk about laughing, we're going to learn, we're going to love. We're going to kick it off with laughing today. Start off with a little segment we like to call
Whose Side You're On?
And our question for today is one I found very hilarious and very well. So I'm going to let you begin, but I'm going to ask the question, all right? All right, so if your significant other was to pass away, God forbid, how soon would you date? How soon would you date, Miss Miss?
I think for me, it really depends. I would say if you have children and stuff like that involved, I believe you really want to make sure that you have somebody that loves your children just as much as they love you. So I would probably say take your time, especially, understanding the grief process and all of that, especially after losing a significant other. So I would probably say anywhere from, 2-3 years. You know what I'm saying? Especially when younger kids are involved, you definitely don't want to get some, make an irrational decision based on emotions, because if you're lonely and that sort of thing. Because I definitely believe in companionship. We all love the companionship. But for me, I just feel like it just takes a little bit of time, especially you want somebody that, that your child you would love, and, that person loves your children just as much as they love you, and then also you want to make sure that God is in this thing. It is a God thing, that you make sure that God, that you prayed about it and all of that, so you don't want to do anything, haphazardly.
Well, that's a great answer. I would say, at the repass. I say you gotta start, just in case, God, you can't put a box on. You don't know
repass,
the box the God I have.
that's the reason why I have my wheels set up the way it's set up.
Hold on.
All the stuff is going up to Leah and Jace.
Hold on. It's my turn. I just say that because you don't know what the Lord can do. I serve a God that can do exceedingly.
Hold on. I
didn't say I'll be looking for somebody, but let's say somebody is scooping mashed potatoes, and you look up, and if the Lord is looking through that side, to be like, you gotta comb hair, you gotta do those things. Who gonna comb these kids' hair? Who gonna pick these kids up from prison?
Miss Sierra, the definitely still braided twist her hair.
Hold on.
Shout out to Miss Sierra. I appreciate you, boo.
Hold on. So I'm just trying to say, I just think I'm not gonna put a cap on God. I'm not gonna put a cap on God. So that's my thing, is just saying that you gotta know like what it is, what it ain't. So I'm not saying at the repass, I'm saying definitely in the parking lot of the repass, after the repass, just in case. I'm not saying that it would be. Of course not, but you gotta have, and so.
Jeffrey, you wouldn't even wait a year?
You know what I'm saying? You got.
At least a year.
We will leave your pictures up though to make sure that we wouldn't be disrespectful or nothing. We would have that piece up there to see. So.
And ladies, this just goes to show. This just shows the difference. For most situations, it takes me no time to move along. No time. Here I am talking about, oh baby, I'm gonna wait 2 to 3 years, and here the girl talking about he gonna do.
I said the repass. I said only because I serve a God that can do exceedingly, abundantly, more than you can actually think. So I don't want to put God in a box and be like, you know what? And saying Lisa Turtle from Saved by the Bell is at the repass and she wants to be a mother to these children. Why should I deny her chance to be a mother? Not to be, because you'll be the mother of the kids still. We keep your pictures up, and of course the videos and memories and whatnot. But I'm saying just in terms of helping out in those situations.
Okay, so family, we want to ask you, whose side you're on?
It's easy.
Is it Mr. who's talking about at the repass, or is it Mrs. Mister? Will you at least wait a year, before you move along? So put in the comments or email us and let us know whose side you're on, Mr. or Mrs. Mister.
I'm telling you right now, go to the social media page and post it right now, which side you on. Whatever, but I'm just saying, fellas, you know what I'm talking about? We're not meant to be single. Like, they don't even celebrate single dad day or like that. Like, mothers get that.
So you're saying, so you're telling us that women are designed to be single?
No, I'm saying you guys are better at being single than we are. That's what y'all.
Wait a minute, you want to talk about Paul?
Y'all want to be like that?
You talk about Paul in the Bible?
Paul was ugly. That's why he was single. Paul was ugly. That's why the Bible said he was gruesome looking, but he had a heart. The Lord worked through his heart. He didn't work through his looks. He knew he could depend on him, not that he wouldn't tempt it. Because he had no.
All right, so put in the comments whose side you're on.
The repass chicken and get it through it.
So moving right along. Come on, Mr. Mister.
Thank you. So today's topic, we're talking about needs, right? Are you getting your needs met through your spouse? What do your needs look like? Do you even know what your needs are? This could go more than this one session, but I want to just start off with in regards to what are your needs? We have an article we're going to talk into.
Yes.
But first we jump into it, I want to know, what are your top 3 needs? What are your top 3 needs?
My top 3 needs probably would be, my top 3 needs would probably be definitely emotional stability.
Mm-hmm. Is that 1 or 3?
Number 1, emotional stability.
Okay.
My thing is, I need to make sure that the person is there with me and there for the long run. They invested into the relationship. 2 would be financial stability.
Oh.
I'm just being completely honest.
You gold digging out here.
No, it's not them. It's not
I ain't saying you're gold digging.
No, but my thing is, for me, ladies, if we say, oh, I just want somebody to love me, that's a lie, okay? My thing is, we need somebody to be able to help commit to the bills and all of that stuff. If they want to pay majority of the bills, I'm cool with that too. We discussed last week about how we set up our financial situation, but you want to make sure, I mean, love, I love, but I need to make sure there's financial stability.
So secure. So, what's your last?
And then my last thing would definitely be that unconditional love, like truly loving me. That probably should be number 1, but truly loving me like Christ loves. Like seriously, no, but truly loving me as Christ loved the church. You know what I'm saying? So if I back it up, so number 1 would be unconditional love and acceptance. And I want somebody to, when I say unconditional love, you have to love me. I know I'm a straight up mess. I am, and so is Jeffrey, but I'm not paying attention.
Oh, well, how you gonna permit
it? But what I say, I know I'm a straight up mess, so I need somebody that's gonna love me as Christ loves me. And that my thing is you know, there's gonna be disagreements, there's gonna be all of that, but He loves me in spite of me. Number 1. Then number 2 would be emotional stability, because I want to, because I can, because I'm Mrs. Mister and I can. Number 2 would be the emotional stability, and then number 3 would be the financial stability.
Wow, I was gonna say. All right, number 1 for me is silence from a woman. No, I was just tripping a little bit. No, for me, I think it's in terms of, for men, I think it's, well, for me, I can't speak for all men. Well, for men, for me, I'm saying for me, is in terms of, like, loyalty, like, what we, like, respect, I think, as a man. Like, a man needs to be respected in whatever he's doing, whether you sweeping, whether you're doing, whether you're a CEO, whatever, you want a woman that can respect you. But you have to have a woman that can respect you. If there's no respect, you can't be anything else. Number 2 is the yams. As you probably heard, you're going to hear some more sex. And see the smile with that? What's that? I just smiled. That's why I brought something on the pot. She don't know I brought this right here.
What'd you buy?
I brought this. Bam! The Lord wants you to use it. Why is it still in the drawer?
That's his favorite outfit. That's his favorite.
Why is it still in the drawer? So that's what I'm saying. So respect, like honor in regards to that. Sex, the yams, wearing the outfit. She gotta have. She does that. Boom. And last but not least would be companionship. I think you see how my voice. You see that dramatic pause there? Companionship. I think like to vibe with somebody. Like R. Kelly, before we cut him off, right, had the homie lover friend. I think that's where he's going, like a homie lover and friend in regards to like somebody you can kick it with.
Debate for another day.
Oh yeah, not saying R. Kelly, because he got some jams now. We all jam to him. Now y'all can say what you want, but that's not the debate we're talking about right now. What I'm just saying is just in fact having somebody that you can really vibe with, like a friend, like somebody that you can kick it with, not just you wanna have sex with her, get the yams from somebody that you don't mind being over. Because once you get through having sex and you gotta talk to them and look at them and whatnot,
most definitely. It's
that's
beyond
a different
that.
Yeah, so like all the Instagram models and stuff like that, you gotta have more than just your looks. You gotta have more to sit aside for a man if you want to keep a man. Now, you can bait a man in that, but you wonder why he ain't gonna stay because you don't have anything.
Right.
It's a hollow on the inside. So definitely having somebody that you can kick it with and be
Right.
friends with too. So we got an article.
So in this article, so we'll go ahead and we'll tell you the top five. So the article is called Five Love Needs of Men and Women. It's written by Dr. Gary and Bob Roseberg. They are with focus on the family in Canada. So shout out to the Rosebergs. So basically in the top five, so I'll go ahead and list the top five for women, and he'll list the top five for the men, and then we'll dig deeper.
And see if it's true. Let's see if we
we match up. So number one for the woman is unconditional love and acceptance. So basically, again, that was mine, unconditional love and acceptance. That is so important for a woman. They want to feel accepted. My thing is, because one of the things that I love about Michelle Obama, what she stated is, just because you're married to that person, as a woman, we're more than that person's wife. We're more than you're more than a mother.
Michelle.
Yeah, Michelle. I love Michelle. That's
Michelle, watch the show. Michelle, if y'all watch the show, please come on. Barack, we'll have y'all on right now. Do you hear me?
Yes, Michelle, you're like my imaginary girlfriend that I talk to. But yes, but it's one of those things. But you're more than. So I'm more than Jeffrey's wife. I'm more than Malia and Jay's mom. I'm Dana. So my thing is accepting me for who I am, and again, like I stated before, loving me unconditionally in spite of. Number two is emotional and intimacy and communication.
So that's SWV song.
Yes. Yes. I need from you is understanding. You didn't go down.
As simple as 1, 2, 3.
Number three is spiritual intimacy. Number four is encouragement and affirmation. Number two is emotional and intimacy and communication. So
that's SWV song.
Yes. I need from you is understanding. You didn't go down.
As simple as 1, 2, 3.
Number three is spiritual intimacy. Number four is encouragement and affirmation. And number five was companionship.
What's missing from y'all this stuff? So let's run those down one time.
Yeah. So number one was unconditional love and acceptance. Number two was emotional intimacy and communication. That's where I was saying emotional stability. So mine started matched up pretty good. It says when your wife hears the word intimacy, she thinks about emotional connection and communication. She's not thinking sex. She's thinking about how you made her feel. Are you being vulnerable with her? A lot of times.
So you don't like the way sex feels?
Oh, I love sex.
So what's the?
What I'm saying is, but it's connecting here and here. So it's connected when these two match up. So it's connecting with your mind and your heart. And my thing is, sometimes as men, I feel like you guys are not as vulnerable with us. And so my thing is, we want men to be, we want you to be vulnerable with us.
You want to
we want to know that you. My thing is, break down the wall. We don't need you to be macho man all the time. We want you to be like, man, this is what happened, XYZ.
So somebody breaking the house and both of us cried. Who gonna
I know.
Baby, you gonna check out his friend? I'm so vulnerable right now. I'm so vulnerable.
No, I need you to be the man there. I'm talking about emotional. So when she says when she wants a marriage that has vulnerable, I didn't even know that. She wants the marriage that has vulnerable, sharing of inner thoughts, feelings, spirit, and true self. Listen to her, show her an understanding heart, give her attention and affection, build rapport with her, resolve conflict, and safeguard your relationship. So we want you to be vulnerable. As women, we want our men to be vulnerable with us. We want you talking to us, communicate. If you had a bad day, we want to hear about it. We truly want to hear about it. Like if such and such giving you a hard time, the good, bad, and ugly, we want to hear it all. So yeah. Then number three, spiritual intimacy. She needs to be growing. She wants you growing spiritually and watching you grow spiritually and leading the home. We want leaders. My thing is, I understand because I did come, I was in a home. Shout out to my mom. She was a single mom for 12 years before she got married to my stepdad. And the thing about it was like, sometimes as women, we, when we grow up in single parent households, we take lead, we take charge, we become bosses, so, and there's nothing wrong with that. But even at home though, we still want, when we run things, women, we run things in our companies and all of that stuff. But when we come home, like, it feels good to have somebody else to make a decision for me. I'm not saying I want you to make all the decisions for me, but it feels good for you to make decisions for me,
Yep, I think some women get stuck there off the point about if you have to, like, if you came up in a situation like you were saying there, and you see, like, the woman take the lead for the most part, and then, like, in a job type situation too, where you're taking the lead, and now to go home and cut that off,
you have to think balance. But it's hard, and don't get me wrong, because when we first got married, I believe that I struggled with that.
Oh yeah, I remember we're gonna tell y'all more about it.
Let me tell you, because one time, let me go ahead and tell this story right here. I never forget this time, we were at the South Haven Town Center, and somehow or another, we got upset or something, and I told him, I was like, let me out the car. That was pride.
Click, click. I said, click, click, click.
He let me out the car. I walked from, it's literally 2 miles.
You left out the story. So she got out. She was like, I don't have to do this. Yak, yakety, yak, yak. So I was like, you ain't saying nothing but a word. Click, click, click. Well,
foolish. Just foolish and prideful. Foolish and prideful.
But what she didn't realize was it was about to start raining. That's when the Lord gonna move out of that place. Hey, move in here. Sunday Shabbat. Sunday Shabbat.
But anyway, so I ended up walking. I didn't walk that far because a nice police officer, shout out to SPD, a nice police officer came, because I was there. I had on heels, like I was dressed, and I think it was the sad part about it. I think it was on a Sunday after church.
Coming from hearing the sermon, acting a plum about this. You see what I'm saying? Women, and we have to listen. I want somebody to be a leader until it disagrees with what they want to do.
So I said all of that, right?
Let me sit back.
So I said all of that to say that it is challenging when we grow up, and we, like I said, we lead. We have to lead in our families. And my thing is, but we still have to allow him to be the head of the household. And the thing about it is, one of the things.
Comments on that.
Yeah, that's fine. But my thing is, we still have to, and I'm not saying, ladies, like I said, like, we all are bosses. I'm not saying that. But I am saying, in order, if we say we truly want a man to lead, we have to follow that biblical principle. And like I say, I know it's challenging because I'm with you, but we have to. So another thing, to move it right along, spiritual intimacy, encouragement and affirmation. To keep her bouncing her step, give her daily doses of encouragement. Tell her she's your best friend, that she's the best wife. Leave love notes. Well, I love it when Jeffrey leaves me notes. I mean, there are times, I never forget the time that when we were dating, what really touched my heart is I came into his apartment at the time, and he had Jeffrey is very cost efficient, as most of you know, cheap. But but when I came into into his apartment, he had rose petals, and he had candles, and then when we went to the thing, that's when we were eating meat. So he had Popeye's chicken. He pretended like he cooked it, but he knew Popeye's was my favorite. And then also he had mac and cheese, and so that really meant a lot to me. And even when I come home, I'm in events, so we have very long days. For those who are in events, shout out to all the event planners, our designers. It's a lot. That's a lot of work. That's hard work. It's a lot of details that people don't understand. It's not what it looks like. We make it look easy, but when I come in long days from work, and I come in, the kids already put into bed, and meal is on the stove, or candles are lit, or flowers, or he leaves with little notes, or he bring it to work. Those type of things make a huge difference. And then finally, number 5 is companionship.
That's on my list too.
So companionship. To your wife, friendship means heart-to-heart communication, special time away with you and growing old together. It involves togetherness. She needs you to work harder in marriage, to laugh together, play together, stay the course, and work out the inevitable differences. So my thing is, guys, we are different. Men and women, we're totally different.
That's true.
We are sometimes we can be so too. So my thing is, it's kind of like this. I look at it like this. You try to have 2 different people, but you're one.
So you try to create this oneness with each other. And how you go about doing that, you understand and respect each other's differences. Like my thing is Jeff and I, we're so different. Like I'm more the serious one. He loves to play and have fun. But I think now for 13 years we have found that balance where now we both love playing together. We love laughing together. We both have to figure out a way how to have a serious moment when it comes down to that. So it's those sort of things that help, that companionship. Because if you say, hey, I married this person, like you married this person, you signed a deal for a lifetime, and so even like I think so many times, game over, right? I think sometimes we
little flip.
little flip. But sometimes I feel like we get to a point where we want to bail out, and there are many times we wanted to bail out. Like I said, I got out the car. Like I was like, you know what,
I ain't finna drive nobody who don't want to be drove around. I was just let you know right there. But companionship though, it's also like finding things y'all can do together, whether you want to do it or not. Like watching the football game with your man.
Watching the 49ers. Yes. But also means going to see like ballet or Alvin Ailey or.
Oh, here they go with this.
See? But it's both sides.
I have no problem with that. It's cool. But I'm saying, okay.
Yeah.
Let's go to the men. That's enough on the women.
Yeah.
Gotta have enough time.
Yes. So the husband top 5 love needs.
All right, got a question for the women. Something you want us to address in a future show.
And ladies, put in your comments. What are those 5 needs that we discussed? Unconditional love and acceptance, emotional intimacy and communication, spiritual intimacy, encouragement, affirmation, companionship. If there's even things not on this list, but of those 5, what is your number 1? Like, what is your top need? And if it's not something on this list, put it in there. We'd love to hear about it. Go ahead, babe.
Perfect. Go to the men. Thank you. So, ladies, drop your top 5 in there. And men, please drop somewhere if they lying. Like, call them out. We try to be transparent here. Top 5 for the men. I'm gonna go backwards. All right, 5. Yeah, hold on.
Number 5.
Okay.
Yes,
cool.
spiritual.
5. I was like number 5 to make sure. The men voted and said spiritual intimacy.
Wow, and that was number 3 for the women.
I know. So we 2 down. We can work our way back up with the Lord. But spiritual intimacy in terms of like really like women understanding that we want to be leaders. Men, like no man wants to be like nagged to, brought down to. So like that spiritual side about that piece, like encouraging him, but men also doing your part too. Like not just, I see a lot of brothers just trying to be like spiritually intimate just to get the yams.
Mm-hmm. Don't do that.
Yeah, calling us.
That's ever failure. That's ever failure.
So yeah, like being real with God, man. Like God know your heart. God know my heart. He do, right? And so like really,
that's the thing. He does.
Trying to do the best you can in regards to that, right? So growing. So like having that mindset. Number 4 is encouragement and affirmation. Encouragement and affirmation.
Stroke the egos, ladies.
So I mean, it don't hurt to say what's going on.
Baby, I love your bald head.
You like it?
And I love your beard.
You like that?
Yeah.
I don't know what else you like.
Yeah. Oh, damn.
She trying to be PC over here. Encouragement and affirmation. Your husband will feel discouraged and defeated when he doesn't hear you cheering him on. Don't let the lady at the job or the other lady be cheering for your husband, going harder for your husband than you are, or your man, or your fiance, or who you dating, or whoever you ever. Like, encourage him, like, as much as you can. Most brothers, Marcus, my partner Marcus was saying about the Founder movie by McDonald's, about how the guy was like grinding it up, and so like
that's a good movie.
Somebody, it's a great movie to see. Also, too, For the Pursuit of Happiness, the brother trying to sell the little box thing. I don't know. He trying to pick his son up, all that stuff. And he called. He like, man, my car just got repossessed. They stole one off the bus. My shirt messed up. I got an interview, and she like, where the money at? Where the money at, Will? Whatever his name was in the movie. Y'all go back and watch. But yeah, so encouragement. Are you going hard? You going hard for your man? Are you going hard for your man? You see your man crush every day, right? Booyah, booyah. Yeah. So going hard for him, encouragement, affirmation. I know women get it all the time. We pursue y'all. We want some of that too. We want to feel like, hey, like, you knocked the dust off that. Like, let them know. Let them know, huh? Real encouragement.
Alrighty, and moving right along. Number 3.
Okay, y'all can holler at me later on that. Number 3 is I'm in the book. Companionship, number 3. Are you the one person your husband can count on when the rubber meets the road?
Are you
ride or die? Now, don't just be ride or die just because he like, look, I'm beating on you. If you beat on you, you leave. All right? Immediately, right there. Don't stay in that situation. But I'm talking about, are you loyal? Yeah. Like, can he depend on you through it? And so, like, that companionship, I don't know, some lady out there, single, maybe learn how to play Madden. Maybe get a Madden on. Maybe get an NBA 2K on. Maybe to learn about sports you really meet it. So companionship, like, can I kick it with you and really like you? Like, this is about, like, the like part about it. Like,
this is where like comes in, because your husband wants you to feel like he has a safe place. And so my thing is, he wants to know that you value him and that, like, he feels like he could confide in you and be loyal. You know, you're both loyal to each other.
The world is already beating us down. Especially my black brothers out here and my Anglo-Saxon brothers, my Latino brothers, everybody, all right, world beats us down. We don't want to come in and get beat down some more. Not saying, see that?
Oh,
see how y'all got? That is, we can bring it down. We can bring that back. We're going to bring that back too. But just in terms of beat us down, be that man's peace in that companionship side. Let him want. I said this a long time before I got married. I'm not going to sit in the garage for 3 hours because I'm like, let me go in here. I'm like, if I got to grind out here to the side, I got to want to do it. And so, like, for us, I think that's what I liked about us at the beginning was we had some fun. And so, like, the companionship, like, I like being around you. So,
I like being around you, too. And then another thing, too, like, you're so funny. But another thing, too, we got to go pick up these kids in 40 minutes. But another thing, too, like, your husband wants, and I think for most marriages, in your marriage, there should be peace. And what I mean by peace, there should be peace and there should be joy. And my thing is, I'm not saying it's always going to be perfect by no means.
You didn't got to put out a car.
That all in one time. That was a one-time thing. I learned my lesson.
It could have been
but your home should be your peace and your joy. Like I said, we grind hard every single day. My thing is, there are things that take place in both of our in employment where it's hard. You know what I'm saying? And so you have to deal with outside attitudes and personalities and all that other stuff. So my thing is, at least when you come in this home, like in your home, your environment, you want to have peace. You want to have a peace of mind. You want to have joy. My thing is, you want to disagree, but you want to disagree. You want to fight fair.
Fight naked. That's what I say in the comments. You take the special comment. But right here, but it's about laughing too. Laugh with a companionship. When's the last time y'all laughed together? When you did something you could watch. We used to watch Grey's Anatomy. Yes. Like that before we had kids.
Yes. We used to watch. Yeah, we do. We used to watch Grey's Anatomy. Yeah. We still love watching Martin together. Martin is our joint.
Yeah, Martin. Shout out Martin. Martin, come on the show, man. Holla at me. Holla at me. Number 2. Sexual intimacy. Less than 50% and up to 90% of a man's self-image is locked up in his sexuality. Let me read this again for later, because obviously y'all may have stepped away. It says less than 50% and up to 90% of a man's self-image is locked up in his sexuality. Sex, passion, pleasing the woman he loves. Let me tell you something, ladies. Let me say this, okay? I didn't have a little
bit. Come on now, top 7.
I'm going to go there with y'all.
Top 7.
I'm going to talk about this a little deeper right there. All right? So this man, we don't ridicule us for our need for sex. The Lord designed us that way to make us that way. So you gotta get this piece. And so putting it out, put it out right there. So that's what I'm saying. And so we want you to enjoy having sex too. So like, we're not just there to get what we coming for. We're not trying to get the yams and lick our fingers and get on out the door. Like, we want you to enjoy that too. So I think the same way we pursue you guys in the beginning and date you and whatnot too,
you want to be pursued.
We want that same energy of just like, you know what? Like, send that brother that text message at work like, you better not put that petroleum gel in your kneecaps and walk in there with your boxes on again. Like, ooh.
Oh my God.
You don't know how to be smiling. Brothers that be at work typing, just smiling. Brother be working construction, just smiling. Because he know he got something to look forward to when he comes. So that sex energy is huge.
And communicate.
Huge is number 2 for us.
Yeah, and communicate your needs. I think that goes for both. Communicate what your needs are. One of the things that we did while we were on vacation a few weeks back was we decided to write down, Jeff found some type of article.
We got a whole show on this. That's the whole show on this.
Yeah, but real quickly, just provided this article, but it listed things that, how much are you willing to try certain things when it comes to the bedroom. them and what you're not willing to try. And then you was able to compare things that you were willing to try, what you're not. But I think, again, no man or woman wants to feel rejected when it comes to sex. So it is important that you communicate your needs. And if you are having a tough time, or, because y'all, let me tell you, even when it comes to sex, it won't be perfect. My thing is there may be times where you may go through a time where you're not able to perform. You know what I'm saying? Especially when women, after we have kids, and you're just tired and all of that stuff. But communicate. It's about communicating that. My thing is that if you feel like, or if the man is not able to as well, because there are going to be times when the man isn't able to perform. My thing is, but again, it's about keeping those lines of communication open. Because if you don't communicate, my thing is what is it called? I can't even think. Temptation. When temptation comes,
Tyler Perry got a good movie, but Dion's not in it though. But it's the Confessions of a Marriage Counselor. Yeah. So it's a good movie. We may watch that with some couples.
But my thing is, temptation will come knocking in your door if you do not communicate. So again, you have to communicate your needs and your expectation when it comes to sexual intimacy.
And so many brothers who say that, like, they try to communicate and you don't get the response that you want to happen. And so, like, just with us, like, in terms, like, when we went through things with, like, sex communication with that too, like, one thing I learned is just continuing that process too, because other things come in. You can have porn involved, you can have, like you said, you can have other people involved in those situations. And so, like, it's really communicating those things over. And so, not just doing it once or twice. Well, I tried, I didn't listen to it one time, but
you
also
have to
being
do it
receptive on both sides too. But yeah, if it's important, continue to do that. And so, number one is unconditional love and is this from a brother? Unconditional love and acceptance. Women like, what?
I would have thought sex would have been y'all number one.
Because what is the thing for us? I'm going to break it
down.
Many people think, and we just come in, we just like little fraud, just a little jackrabbit.
But so the two needs were the same for both the man and the woman.
It is?
Yep. Yep. The only ones that switched around was number 2 and number 3.
Oh, okay. Y'all didn't have sexual intimacy though. So
yes, we did.
Y'all didn't have sexual intimacy? There was no sexual intimacy on?
Oh, no, it wasn't.
So sexual intimacy, well, let me go to this number 1 right here. So unconditional love and acceptance, meaning like it says when your husband needs your unconditional love, it simply means that he needs you to love him and receive him no matter what. You thinking like, men do that? All the time we rough on the outside. We want somebody to love us. Can you stand the rain? Can you stand the rain? Can you love us? Like, can you really hold us there, like, unconditionally? Like, as a man, like, there's expectations. There may be a man that may be watching the show with his lady, watching by himself right now. Like, you know what? Like, that's it. Like, I feel like I'm not where I should be in life. Like, things didn't go the way I thought it would be. But I know, like, if it's in a rock and it's in my place, it's my lady right there. You know what I'm saying? I can be your... Anywhere you need, Method Man and Mary J. Blige.
Right.
What's that? I forgot the name of something.
I don't know.
I was going to sing a little bit. But yeah, so like unconditional love and acceptance. And so thinking now, like in terms of differences, like sex was not a part of the women's one, but also too, like what was a part of you guys that was not a part of ours?
The emotional intimacy and communication was a part of ours.
Yeah, for us though, which I think we may be different than that, because I actually enjoy the communication.
Yeah.
Sometimes you may have like on there be like, hey, so look, I researched some ways to ask you questions instead of asking like, hey, how your day was? Remember the other last week or whatever? I was like, hey, so tell me what was one thing that made you smile? You was like, don't try to give me no emotional intimacy communication.
I did not say that. I did not say that.
That's right. I'm giving you number 2 on your list, emotional intimacy communication. And so, but I think this is not every man and every woman situation with us too. Because I think for me, I really love communication on the side. Would you say what would you say?
I think what I love about this article is that for both of them, the number 1 was unconditional love and acceptance. I really do. I really love that one. That was number 1 for both. So it just goes to show that we really want we want our significant other to love us as Christ loved us. And what I love about this, about Christ, I'm going to read 1 John 4:17 through 19. And as we live in God, which is so important. And as we live in God, our love grows more perfect. So we will not be afraid on the day of judgment, but we can face it with confidence because we live like Jesus here in this world. Such love has no fear because perfect love expels all fear. If we are afraid, it is for fear of punishment. And this shows that we have not fully experienced his perfect love. We loved each other first because he loved us first. We loved each other because he loved us first.
Sure.
And y'all, that's just, yeah. So it just goes to show, like, when we're living in Christ, y'all, like, when I say when we live in Christ, like this relationship right here, then this relationship right here works. If you have the vertical, this vertical, right? If you have the vertical relationship, if you line the relationship with him, then your horizontal relationship, not even just with your significant other, but how you respond just to people in general, how you respond to people who have mistreated you, how you respond to like that father that was not there for you, how you respond to your kids even when they're upset, your outlook on life, because he loved us first, it makes it easier for us to love each other.
There it is.
Bam.
So, there it is. That's all right. You in the love part there. In the love boat.
Yes.
And so now, for you all, right? We want you to take this not just here. We have a good time here amongst ourselves. We're still learning ourselves. So,
every day.
This is what I want you to do. I want you to write down your 5 love needs. What does it take to love you? What are the 5 components you feel like are huge for you to love? And I want you to give it to a spouse. If your spouse is not, or your person you with, you dating, who you with, you can do that too, just in terms of loving those things. And we can come back, maybe next episode or the future episode of like, what do you do when you're not getting those needs met? Because that's when things happen.
And even if you're single, like just potentially think about what needs you will want. My thing is you need to practice. If you say you want to be married, you have to put these things, put it in an atmosphere. You have to practice on those things. So, but you have to practice. I mean, you truly have to practice. My thing is if you say, hey, I want a significant other that does this, but you have to work on self. Because in order for you to get that relationship, you have to work on self. And it starts today. And my thing is,
somebody is watching what they're saying. I want Idris Elba to come scoop me up, but I'm eating some pork rinds sitting on the couch watching this video. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe, like, all of this stuff. To share it. And what I do. But what she said, working on yourself.
You have to work on self.
Put that little seed, like our boy did the little seasoning. Put some seasoning on yourself. Throw some seeds on yourself. Hit the gym up. Learn, read.
But anyway, we got to go because we got to pick up the kids by 6 o'clock.
It's that. So, all right, your takeaway right now. Give it to a spouse. First, write down your 5 things. By yourself, write your 5 things down. Keep those things down. And think about what do you want to have in a significant other. You got a significant other? Also, get with them. Have a conversation.
Communicate,
be
people.
real. Like we talked about on like
episode 1.
Yes, I see that is, right? Be honest, transparent with each other about, hey, this is what it is, and saying, like, this is something that I'm not feeling this need met, and offer solutions, not just nagging about the thing. And so, before we end every episode,
Oh, we forgot to talk about our 3 things we're grateful. We can do that now.
Oh, definitely. Well, we're coming back. I think it's a great topic right here about like what happened, because most people, I get DMs and messages about folks saying, what I do if I'm not getting my needs met. I'm cooking for them, I'm emotionally, I'm spiritual like this, and she's not giving it up. Or wrong for him, like he's not helping out financially, or like this situation, and someone either side. What do you do when you're not getting met? So stay tuned, subscribe to the podcast, get with share with somebody else, man.
We love you guys. Thank you so much.
Cousins,
we
love y'all.
Yes, we love you, family. Thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate you. This is episode number 3. He got caught up in the spirit. Okay, so anyway, so we appreciate you guys. Again, stay tuned to the Mrs.
It's been 3 years in the making, man. Oh, you're good. But before we leave in every episode with this, right? So whether you're going through something, y'all ain't talking to each other, or whether you manly love, just get started, right? You need 3 things. You need to be able to laugh, you need to learn, you need to love. So look at that person and tell them these 3 things. I like you, I love you, and hold on, pull it out. Bang! I want you, so I like you. I love you, I want you.
Love you guys.
Y'all hey, tell her to put that on. Tell her to put that on for me, okay? Love y'all.
Jim, I can't believe you pulled this out. I did not know you were going to do that.
Yeah, I was trying to get this.
So, really.